Should we dive into the voicemails?
Let's dive into the voicemails. Do you want to do a serious one or a funny one first?
Serious.
Okay, and the serious is not overly serious this week. It's more so this dad is looking for advice directly from Will Compton. I cannot answer this question.
Hey, fellas, this is Thomas from Chattanooga. Want to call in and get some advice from the boys about making the jump from 1 to 2 kids. My wife's expecting our second in November. We'll have 2 under 2. Just kind of wanted to see what that jump was like and what to expect from it. All right, thanks, fellas.
Thomas from Chattanooga, appreciate you calling in, brother. 2 under 2, I hear, is a different animal. Charles and I, we were trying to go for 2 under 2, but we obviously, if you listen to the IVF podcast on Bussin With the Boys around Mother's Day that we dropped it, we had problems getting pregnant with the second one with Scotty. And so Rue was, I would say, what was Rue, about 2.5 when we had Scotty. So we didn't necessarily have 2 under 2. I do hear 2 under 2 is like a different animal because, again, it's like the first one, they haven't been walking very long. Rue, I feel like she's not the most useful, but she's somebody who's aware of, like, she's wanting to help out. So I feel like that helps when you have the older one. They're over 2 years old. You think you'll be playing man to man because you're not necessarily outnumbered yet. You'll be 2v2 in the household, but you're still somewhat playing a bit of zone defense because what the older one needs, the older one's going to be favoring whether mom or dad at the time. The newborn, you guys are going to be able to, like, you already know what to expect out of the second one because you had the first one. So the second one really won't be a problem once they get sleeping. It's going to be all about getting them to sleep, getting them in a good rhythm. I would strongly recommend 12 hours by 12 weeks. I forget who the author is, but that's a good book out there for sleep training. It's not too aggressive. It's how to get the kid to adapt to your life versus the other way around. And that was like a method we went by. So really the first one's all about getting in that good sleep routine because that one, again, it's like when they first come out, they're eating every 3 hours. You kind of know what to expect with that second one. It's going to be the older one that is going to be experiencing new emotions as they age. They're used to being the only child. They're no longer the only child. Something that we did with Rue because we were very intentional about how we introduced Scotty into the world with Rue. And I was getting this stuff from, like, honestly, Instagram. But one thing that we did when Scotty was born is when Rue came to the hospital, we had our nanny holding Scotty. We had our nanny holding the newborn. So that way when Rue walked into the room, your first child, you and mom are their entire world. So when she's walking into the room to check on mom, the entire goal was, while I was walking Rue, I was like, hey, we're going to go see mom and you can meet your new little sister. So we wanted Rue to see when she walked into the room, mom not holding the newborn. Mom, who Rue saw as her entire world, being mom recovering from having Scotty, the second child. So Rue could walk in, crawl up on the bed with mom, check in on mom. And then we were like, hey, do you want to meet Scotty? Do you want to meet your baby sister who our nanny was holding? So as a family, we kind of go over and introduce Rue to Scotty. So that way Rue feels like the baby is getting introduced to all of us at the same time, getting introduced to our world. That was one thing that we did. The second thing that we did, which Stephen Che, shout out to boy Stephen Che for putting me on this. And I feel like this isn't like a secret or anything. But when we were taking Scotty home, our second baby home, we were telling Rue as we were driving in the car, hey, Scotty got you a present when you get home. And we got her some little Elsa jewelry or something from the store.
Yeah.
So when Rue got home, Scotty had a gift for her. We're like, hey, Scotty got this gift for you. And Rue opened up, was all excited. So we were very intentional about introducing the second baby into our home with Rue being our oldest. So I would recommend a couple of those things. And then it's like how you can immerse your oldest into being helpful with Scotty, or like, hey, do you want to show Scotty how we do your bedtime routine? That actually kills two birds with one stone, because you're trying to get, it's hard enough to get your oldest one in the a bedtime routine every night consistently. So you're like, hey, do you want to show Scotty how we do bedtime, how we do our routine? And so Rue would be like helping out. We do this, we do that, kind of talking to the baby. And in the same breath, Rue's getting ready for bed. So you're kind of like, you're kind of gaming her up to get ready for bed as well. She obviously, your oldest doesn't know how to read yet, but we would have Rue like, hey, what book should we read Scotty for the first time? What should we do here? What should we do there? And so we allowed Rue to be very instrumental into introducing Scotty into our house. So those would be the things that I would tell you as far as going 1 to 2. You'll get mixed reviews. You'll have the people that are like, oh, you only have one kid now, wait till you have the second one. But honestly, dude, it's not that bad. You're already in your own routine of having a kid in the first place, and balancing work, family, being home, all those different things, and helping your wife out. The second one's really not as difficult when you have two. Obviously, mom's going to be leaning on you to help with the older one a lot more, getting ready for bed, because she's going to be on a lot more of a routine with the newborn. But it's not as bad as I feel like what reviews can be on going 1 to 2.
Yeah, and I'm speaking so out of turn, I have no idea, but I almost see it as like, as the two get older, like their relationship starts budding.
Yeah.
They're able to start pouring into each other. They're able to kind of entertain each other in types of ways, like to where almost like the 2-dog principle, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it's like once they can start smiling, like anytime Scotty's like smiling at Rue, or because Scotty watches Rue a lot, just play and do all the things and just making the comments. Scotty loves you so much. Oh, Scotty loves her big sister, getting them to say it back and forth. So Rue feels very connected to Scotty. And another thing that we would do that I think we learned on Instagram as well, I know for me I did, it was like how you kind of talk to the newborn with the oldest sitting there. So it's like, if Rue wants my attention to play, hey, dad, can we play hide and seek? And I know I got to do something with Scotty before I play with Rue. And I'm trying to be conscious about just telling Rue, like, hey, I gotta feed Scotty. I can't play with you right now. Instead, I would look to Scotty and be like, hey, all right, Rue, we can play hide and seek. I just got to tell Scotty something. Then I'd look at Scotty. Hey, Scotty, when I'm done feeding you, I'm going to go have to play hide and seek with your sister, if that's okay with you. So I'm kind of telling Scotty, I'm kind of saying that in front of Rue.
I like
so
that.
Rue knows that, oh, dad's going to spend time with me. He just he's letting Scotty know he's got to play with me before he plays with me.
Yes, dude.
Versus being like, Rue, I can't play with you right now. I'll play with you after I'm done feeding Scotty. Because then in their brain, or what I've tried like learning or gathering, like in their brain, it's like, oh, I'm second fiddle to this new child. So that could build up some resentment, like in their brain, because like, sweetheart, I can't play with you right now. Let daddy go play with you after I'm done doing what I got to do with Scotty. Instead, I'll look at Scotty and explain what I'm going to have to do with Rue after I get done executing what I need to execute with the newborn.
Dude, that is some serious game.
You like that?
Yeah.
Dude, shout out Instagram, man.
Yeah, shout out Instagram. That's so sick.
You like listen to the breakdown and you hear the why behind it, and you're like, oh, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
And how it could come off to the child that doesn't know any better. They're just hearing, no, I can't play with you right now. I got to do this with the newborn. And it's like, well, where's the time for me? You know what I mean? And then it can build up build up whatever the resentment is. Like, really the only issue we have with Rue and Scotty is if Rue's just starting to break down and she sees mom say holding Scotty, like it happened today on the flight. Like Charo had Scotty had the carrier and she was strapped to her chest, and Rue's just like having a little moment. He's like, Mom, I want you to hold me. I don't want you to hold Scotty.
Yeah.
So then you got to kind of, hey, I'll take the baby so she can hold Rue and stuff like that. But really, that's about as much jealousy that we've seen out of Rue. Is more of just like when Rue's having a moment and sees Scotty being held, she's like, I want you to hold me. I don't want you to hold Scotty.
It's very much the power, forgot where I heard this or read it, but the power of we, the power of us, like using those types of terminology with like coworkers, even if it's a job that only you're going to be doing. But if you're saying it to your coworker of like, yeah, if we do that, yeah, that's going to work out great. I think that would be the best option for us. It's like integrating, we're a team. And like you're letting Rue know like, hey, we are playing hide and go seek. That's a given. we just got to break it to this little thing over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
I love that, dude.
Yeah. It's worked out. It's been a good move for us. But that's what I would that would be my advice on going from 1 to 2.
Let's go. And then we'll be reaching out to Thomas in Chattanooga. So our friends that do the merch stuff, we have like a great doc that's all put together. We're going to be putting people's addresses into it. We also, you and I need to write some thank you cards for those guys as well. That will be included with the
love
merch. So huge shout out to Thomas for reaching out.